Okay, perfect. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Hey, how's it going, everybody? My name is Charles Walker. I'll do a quick intro, and then when Mo slides pull up, he'll do a quick intro of himself as well, and then we'll get going like that. So, without further ado, like she said, everything is recorded, and I'm going to do a quick recap of the last webinar as well. Those are recorded also on the YouTube, and then, like she said, this one will be on the YouTube as well. All right, so jumping right in. So, a little bit about me. I skipped college to pursue my sales career at the age of 18. Started off selling BMWs. I loved it, and then a year later, I switched to Chrysler. All right, I decided to take my profession to the next level. I got into mortgages. I applied and I received a sales position with the number one wholesale lender in the country. The name is United Wholesale Mortgage, and it's definitely by far the best job I've had. All right, so but even though I was making good money, I was living the life that I wanted. I knew that I didn't want to work a 40, 50-hour work week for somebody else. I wanted to do that for myself and make 10 times the amount of money potentially, right? That's what we're all going for, is potentially. So, and my story is definitely going to hit home with a lot of people that are in this and watching this recording as well, because we're all either entrepreneurs right now or we're all aspiring entrepreneurs. That's where we all want to go. So, like I said, still going into that though, 2 years after selling cars, things like that, I got into mortgages and I became the United Wholesale Mortgage King account executive. Went from six figures and then I quit and not knowing where I was going to make my next dollar from, right? So I got into PTS marketing, which is the next one I have here. That is actually my own company I started back in high school. Funny enough, I was doing social media marketing for local business owners. It was actually a bar out in where I used to live out in Michigan, and there's also a chicken spot and another Reladium as well. But that's where I really got most of my marketing expertise from, was from that. And I was able to take it to my car sales journey, and I was able to take it to my mortgage account executive journey as well. All right. Now at the age of 23, you can see as at the present, I'm a mortgage loan officer and pretty much everything real estate. So I invest in real estate, Airbnb host, and I also love coaching other entrepreneurs. And I also have a Patreon as well, to where I coach those entrepreneurs. All right. So getting into my slides. This is a social media marketing recap from the last webinar that me and Tara were speaking of. So we went over what is social media marketing on the surface. We identified that it's the use of social media platforms and websites to promote a product or service. That's the definition. And then we went over features and benefits of such social media platforms. We went over how to get started, things like finding a niche, naming your profile, setting up your business page, creating content, growing your following, finding your comfort zone, and field testing what works. Now, obviously, there's a lot of stuff like finding the niche was one of the hardest things that I pointed on that, was because everybody has their own niche, right? Everybody has their own business model. Everybody has their own promotion, things that they're pushing. So finding your niche was definitely a tough one. Name your profile, that's the easy stuff. Setting up a business page, I went over and make sure we don't have a personal page, we have a business page, and that way we're promoting things like that. And then we're creating content, right? The biggest thing that most people don't do is, they'll set up the page, they'll find a niche and everything, they just don't create the content. That was one of the big pain points I pushed on. All right. So growing your following, find your comfort zone, and field testing. Obviously, we want to know what things work, and field testing is the only way we're going to get better and know how. All right. I also went over setting up goals and daily tasks for yourself. Things like, how many posts do I want to do per week? How many followers do I want per month or per day? Things like that. And how many videos can you put out, pictures can you put on, etc. All right. I went over how to make this into a system, creating consistency and automation, and how not to let social media deprive you of your time and become one of those tasks that you dread doing, So then we went over, the last thing we went over was how to use Business Suite and to manage all your social media platforms and your accounts. Like I said, creating the consistency and automation by doing so. All right. If you weren't able to attend that, it's all on YouTube, but definitely go check that out. That was definitely a good webinar that a lot of people got value from. All right. Now, today we're going to take a little bit of a deeper dive to a few of these topics, and also add in on a few extra topics for you guys. That way we're all growing, we're all striving in the right direction. We're going to go over the features and benefits of social media marketing, the most effective platforms to do so, consistency and automation. Like I talked about, Business Suite, things like that. I want to take a deeper dive into making this automated for you. That way you're not spending every single minute of your day, or even a couple hours every day is too much. You can literally set up systems in place to where that's not a thing for you. And then I want to go over the algorithms, And then I want to go over the marketing strategies for you guys as well. That way you can kind of use a couple of my tips and tricks and implement that into your own business. All right, so diving right in. The features. Social media marketing gives you access to millions of people for free. You can literally put out content about your business and about your brand, and it could potentially be seen by millions of people, right? As long as you promote it the right way, as long as you boost it. And it really is, how much do you want to get out of it, right? If, people, they slack on content, they're going to slack on views. They got any shortcuts that you take in social media, it's going to show, and your social media program will not grow, right? But I want to use an analogy for you guys. Let's say in my zip code, I have about 300,000 people around me, right? Let's use a 1% rule using this 300,000. So 1%, 300,000 is 3,000 people. Let's say I can't get all 300. Maybe I can, maybe I can't. But all 300,000 people, I just want 1% of them. 1% to at least know who I am. That's 3,000 people. Now, who could use an extra 3,000 customers in their business? I know I can, for sure. And then even taking a deeper dive into that, 1% of that, 3,000, which 1% of 3,000 is 30 people. Who could use an extra 30 new customers? That would even make a huge impact on my business as well. So just think of it as a numbers game, right? We don't have to try to get half of the people. We don't have to try to get all of the people in our zip code or around us. We just have to get 1%. Let's try for 1%, and that's going to pay off, because then you start getting into the referrals. In my business in real estate, it's a lot of referral business, right? How do people know you? You do one loan with one person. You say, hey, can you please, send my number, send all my contact info to a friend or family member. That way I can grow. That's how I grow my business, is by doing a great, service for you, and then you spreading my name. So building up the referrals is definitely a thing on social media as well. You get one client in your business, in your database, they spread the word, it grows. One person follow you, a lot of other people follow you. They follow suit, all right? But it's up to you to keep chasing that 1%. Like, how bad do you want it, all right? Profile, where you can be yourself. This is what they're giving you, right? Social media platforms, profile, where you can be yourself on your business page. This is your virtual storefront. That's what I like to call it. You get a news feed to post on and entertain prospects or customers. These are your products and goods and services, right? So if you're, using like a coffee shop example, this is your coffee, and the first one is your actual storefront. All right. Messaging platform to answer business questions and also send content to people. This is your communication system. It doesn't have to be face-to-face, right? We can do things in social media. If I'm on your page at this time and I have a question, I'm not going to go to Google now and go search up your number and call you. I'm just going to send you a DM, as long as you already have a social media page, and that's your communication system. All right. And you also get on these social media platforms is a popular page. And this is where we all want to get to, right? If we can make a post and it gets shown on the popular page, and these are where a lot of people spend most of the time of their day is on the popular page, and then they see something of yours, that might strike a new customer for you. That might be a new customer in your database, right? And the last one is paid advertisement. This is something that if you have an ad budget, you set an ad budget for yourself and your company, it's definitely a thing that I would advise to a certain extent, right? Everybody needs to have like a budget. Maybe it's 1% of your income, whatever it is, right? Spend it in marketing, different ways of marketing, but you definitely want to spend some type of money on marketing on social media as well, right? Because if you have a following, if you have a page, you want to get your name out there. What's an extra? Let's say you spend, even if you spend $5, $10 a day on marketing, and you do that for, just twice a week, that right there is going to pay off. It's going to get you at least seen by another 400 people, 400 or 500 people. Let's say one of those buys, you got a new customer, right? And you gain referrals from that. All right, moving on. Now I want to go on to the benefits. All right, so 24/7 marketing. This allows your business to be open 24/7. Even while you're sleeping, social media is still working for you. That's the beauty of it, right? We can't all be at 100 places at 100 times, but we can have a social media storefront, and we can drive traffic to that storefront. Every single customer you ever wanted is here too. That's the biggest thing about social media. I don't care if you're black, white, male, female, Democrat, Republican, whatever it is, all of your clients or all of your potential prospects are on social media. There's over 4 billion social media users on these platforms as well, which I want to go into the next slide. But that's the main reason you want to be on here, because every single customer you ever want, regardless of anything, is going to be on these platforms, all right? And then also you can interact with your customers. When they're searching your page and have questions pop up in your mind, like I said, they can message you. And it's pandemic proof, right? They can tell you what they like and what they don't like and how to improve it. And that's when you take that feedback and you implement that into your business. And then on top of that, rapport, right? Having an actual social media presence. Me, every time I look up a place, whether it's a bar, it's a club, it's a maybe it's just a regular local business, right? I'm looking them up on social media. How does it look? How is it going to look? How's it going to smell? How's it going to feel when I'm in there? Like, what's the overall vibe going to be? And that's what social media does for you. It builds that virtual vibe that when I go here in person, this is what I want to get. All right. If your social media is crappy, you have 50 followers and maybe you have 1 or 2 posts back from 2019 and the picture quality sucks, I'm not gonna lie, I'm probably just gonna click right past it and not even want to go there. But the people that actually take care of their social media, I know that that's a place I want to go to, and that's a place that is going to be a good atmosphere for me. All right. And then also the analytics part too. You can literally see who's watching your post. You can see if they're male, female, their age, they're just an overall whole demographic. You can see everything about these people, and you can even target ads towards them, or you could just keep posting things and they'll eventually see it as well. All right. And the last thing, like I said, it's completely free. You don't have to spend money on advertisements at all. You can spend $0 and still reach 100 people. You can spend $0, still reach 100,000 people. Just depends on how much work you put in, how much you actually care about it, and how much you want to grow. And then, like I said, I want to go into the most effective platforms. You got Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn, TikTok, Twitter, and then Google My Business is actually a huge one. That's why that one's at the top, and that's what Mo's going to go into next. He's the digital marketer. All right, so going into these slides, I want to actually talk about the cons for you guys. All right, and this is a bonus topic that I didn't mention up front, but I want everybody to follow along and just kind of write this down with me if you can. If you got a pen and paper, please write this down. Everything about social media is great, right? It gets you customers. Like I said, it's free. Everything I just said in previous slides is actually accurate. But the cons, and this is what I want you to write down. Do not let social media distract you. Actually put me at the end. Do not let social media distract me. That's what I want you to write down, right? Because social media is meant to be distracting, right? It's meant to keep people on their phones and on these apps all day. That's how they make the money. That's how they make the big bucks. So make a promise to yourself that you will get on social media strictly for business. You will not get on there for pleasure. Because if you don't follow through, you'll go through on the app, right, to post something, and you'll get sucked down a rabbit hole for about an hour, hour and a half, and then you'll forget why you even entered the app in the first place. So that's the big thing about social media marketing is when you go on the app, you're going to post something, you get distracted by all these shiny things, and you click on this, click on that, and now you're taking away from your business and your time. So please, when you go on to social media, make sure you're dedicating your time only for the business, and then get off. All right, post something and then get off. The only time I'm personally on social media is, about if I want to do about 30 minutes, maybe an hour tops a day, but that's just to look at new trends and what's trending. Maybe I'm saving a reel. If you guys know Instagram Reels, I save some of those, the music from it, anything that's popular, I'll use that on future videos, things like that, right? But I'm using it for business purposes still. I'm using it to see what's trending and what people are interacting with and basically what's popping, if you will. So also, I'm not done right though. Social media can be very time depriving if you don't have a strategy. That's the only time, right? If you don't use Business Suite and you just fire from the hip whenever you feel like it, it will consume a lot of your time. So people, when I say Business Suite, this is going back to the last webinar. That's why it's kind of like a part 2. But Business Suite is something through Facebook, and Google it right now if you need to. It's literally where you can post on your Facebook and Instagram simultaneously by a click of a button. So if I have a picture and I have text that I want to post, I can post it on Facebook and Instagram at the same exact time, and then I'm wiping my hands clean. All right, it's literally a set it and forget it kind of thing, right? Because I'm setting it up once, and maybe I set up the whole month of advertising on one day. Maybe I spent 2-3 hours that one day. I don't have to look at it for the rest of the month, and it's out working for me when I'm sleeping, when I'm driving, when I'm doing all this other stuff. It's working for me, right? So just set it up front and then forget it. And the last con about social media I'll say is that there is no visual return on investment. That's what that ROI is, right? Because of this, people get discouraged and they think it's not working. They give up. Or maybe they don't give up, but they stop putting as much effort into it because they're not seeing that it's working. But trust me, it's working. It's because people don't interact with all your posts doesn't mean that they don't see it, right? People might see it. They might see you again. They might not even like it yet, but it's subliminally, it's going to be in their head. They're going to know you. They're going to know your brand as long as you're putting out good content and keep pumping out good content, because that's the only way you're going to start to get that customer interaction, right? They see it. Trust me, they see it. So the fact that there's no visual return on investment, that is a con or a lot of people just starting out because they get discouraged and then they stop. So that's what I don't want you guys to do. All right, now I want to go into the algorithm a little bit. Things that these social media platforms look at. So they look at time on the app. How long are you usually on the app as a consumer? So that's why I have it broken up as the two spots too. There's, algorithm as a consumer, algorithm as a posting when they're posting things. So how long are you on the app? How long do you spend time on certain posts? They want to put certain posts in front of you that you spend the most time on, right? Interest, what things are you into? What do you follow? What hashtags do you follow, etc. So their high tech stuff is all watching this, just so you guys know. They know everything about you and everything about your social media life whenever you're on these platforms. All right. Your overall demographic, are you white, male, female? This is so they can put certain things in front of you, like ads. I don't get any bra ads, right? Because I'm a male, but I might get other kind of ads, like some protein or like a bunch of male stuff, gym weights, all that good stuff, right? So they know my whole demographic. They know I'm a 23-year-old Black male. They're going to put things in front of me that I might possibly buy, right? Previous engagement, what things do you interact well with? So if you guys are on World Star all day, they're going to keep sending you stuff similar to World Star. Or if you're on the news, they're going to send you stuff like that. You guys get what I'm saying, where I'm going with that. All right. And then the followers, what kind of people do you follow now? They're going to consistently put people like the people you follow now in front of you. That way you can go chase other people. So, and remember too, like I said, all the social media is how long can I keep this consumer on the app. All right. And then I want to go on to posting. So engagement, when you make a post, how much engagement do you get? How many people interact with your post? You get likes, comments, shares, the time on the post, like I said in the previous one, that's what they're overall looking at. And then the context, what does this pertain to? If I make a post about mortgages, people that mainly follow Barbie pages, or I'm just using like crazy examples, but you know what I mean? People that follow certain things, they're not going to see my mortgage post. People that follow mortgages, they're going to start to see my mortgage post. The timing is what I want to go into as well. So who's on the app when you posted it? That's also a big one. You got to find hot spots to post. If you post at 2 a.m, it may or may not get seen, but if you post at hot spots in the day, maybe 11 a.m., 6:30 p.m. when everybody's getting off work, that's when people will really start to see it, all right? And then hashtags as well. Hashtags is pretty self-explanatory, but whenever I make a Airbnb post, it's going to be hashtag Airbnb. Whenever I make a mortgage post, it's going to be hashtag mortgages, hashtag Miami life, hashtag Miami realtors. I want realtors to see it as well. I want to hashtag things that I want people to see in those genres. All right. And then the last one is the insights. So out of 500 followers, maybe 200 of your followers seen it, maybe only 30 of them liked it, and maybe got a few comments. That's what they're looking at. They want to see how well are these people that are actually seeing it interacting with it. If a lot of people see it and they don't interact with it, it may not be a good post. We're not going to keep pushing it out in front of other people, because we can push out Mo's post over Charles, right? Because Mo's post is interacting way better with clients, right? Wouldn't we rather put it in front of those consumers? So that's the way that they look at it. And those are the overall algorithms of social media. And this right here is my last slide. I want to go into the marketing strategies. Everyone has their own, their own marketing strategy and their own personal brand that they have to build upon. And I just want to give you guys a couple of tips and tricks. That way you can build out your own personal one. So some ideas to build out your strategy. I want you guys to set goals for the daily as well. And like I said, how far are you actually willing to take it? So plan out your day before. That's one of my biggest strategies just in my entrepreneur journey as well, is because if I can plan out the day before the day starts, like if I can plan out tonight what my day's gonna look like tomorrow, I'm way more planned and I'm way more ready for that day to hit, because I already know what's in my head that night, get to sleep on, and then when I wake up, that's the first thing I'm on to, because I already planned it out. I'm going to task A, task B, task C, right? But for social media purposes, how do I plan out what my social media post look like for tomorrow? Do I want to post right in the morning at 10 a.m., talk about this topic, or do I want to post a picture of this? I want to say happy Valentine's Day, whatever I want to do, right? I want to plan out the day before. And then also I want to use delayed posting to coordinate that. Like I said, you can use Business Suite if you want. There's a couple other things that you can use, a couple other platforms. I personally only use Business Suite for Facebook and Instagram because it works and it has a broken sense. But you can schedule it out, like I said, a whole month in advance, set it up and forget it. And then I want you guys to make a habit of making content. So don't just make 2 posts a month and be content with it. It's pretty much what that means. And then set a schedule for each day. In mortgages, we might do a mortgage minute Monday. Some people do like wine talk Wednesdays, Thursday talks, or just in general. Think of something creative that you guys can do. Doesn't even have to rhyme like these, but think of something you can do every day of the week. That way people look forward to it and they jump onto that. And then this really pertains to, and I'm a big fan of this, pertains to how hungry you are. I keep saying that, but social media is what you make it, right? I can follow 1,000 people and only 100 follow me back, but that just tells me that I'm getting at least 10% on whatever I'm doing, right? So why not follow 10,000 people and get 1,000 followers? You know, that's 1,000 more customers. So send these posts to other people. If I make a post, I'm going to send it to a few friends, few family members, whatever. Just say, hey, please, can you like on this? Can you comment on it? Can you share it? Whatever, right? It depends on how close you are, or just depends on who you want to send it to. So just send it out. You might get somebody to post it. You might get somebody to comment, and that's going to help you out for the algorithm. Create top-notch content up to your standards, right? Whatever you could do, be the best at it. If you're going to do it, be the best at it. You might as well. You're already doing it. So create the top-notch content that you know how, and then post it. Put it out there for the world to see. You're going to get some type of return on investment. And then if not, you guys can always hire a professional. That's one of my biggest marketing strategies. That's why I was so profitable back in high school. Like I said, right after high school as well, is because business owners, sometimes you might be too busy, right? That's okay. You get caught up in day-to-day life, things happen, things change. Maybe you don't want to spend, all your time in the marketing, because you could just pay a professional to do it. You know it's going to be taken care of, and it's going to be very professional, and it's going to get you more clients. Hire professionals, nothing wrong with that at all. But just make sure you're doing it. There's no substitute for social media marketing. So that's all I got. I'm going to close it out right there. I'm going to pass it right over to Mo. Let me know if you guys have any questions.
Yeah, we'll keep the questions to the end. I got a slide for that, Charles. But great job, man. The on slide that you had, I got to work on that, man. Getting off social media distractions. Anyways, for those of you that don't know me, my name is Mo Shakir. To the digital marketing space. All right. Charles, can you skip to the next slide? My fault, I don't have access. Perfect. All right. So yeah, how I got into the digital marketing space. I started off at the age of 14 working for the family business. My stepfather was raised in California. All right. He had a suit store over there, really known on Hollywood Boulevard. And he came down here from nothing. He came out to Detroit, started up a suit store in Dearborn. And he was a great businessman, don't get me wrong, but it was tough for him to adapt to the change, and I was only 14 at the time. Kids are always on social media, Instagram, we didn't really use Facebook at the time, but I had to find a way to help his business grow. And that's when I realized that digital marketing was the right way to go. What happened was, back in the day, he sat me down. I'll never forget this. We sat down in his office and he was telling me, you know what, I'm thinking about closing the store down. It just isn't working out. And I was, I think, maybe 15 at the time when he told me this. And I seen all the hard work he put into it. There's thousands of suits, put a lot of money into it. And I sat him down and told him, no, we're not going to be able to do this. So I was a junior in high school at the time. I was on the basketball team, so I knew a few seniors. I knew a lot of guys in school. So the prom was coming up. So I told all these guys, you know what? Come on in, grab a suit. All right, I'll give you a great deal. Just do me a favor. After you guys get this suit, just take a picture, and just tag us on Instagram. All right. And traffic just started coming in after that. Then the next year, which was my grade when we were seniors, everybody wanted to come in and go to Designer Suit Outlet. Why? Because we had that certain image on social media platforms that these guys looked great, rather than renting a baggy suit from Men's Warehouse or K&G, whatever the case may be. So they all loved it. And then they would tell their aunts, sisters, brothers, uncles about the suit store. And it just started picking up ever since. And then I even ended up attending these schools, the local schools in the area, and I distributed coupons. So I grabbed all these coupons and I put that with any suit purchase, you're going to get a free shirt, tie, belt, and socks. This was the following year, my first year in college. Okay. I gave them to all the local schools, and I told the teachers that were in charge of the prom tickets, with every prom ticket, just give them this coupon. It's going to help out these kids. It's low profits for us in the beginning, but the benefit was it brought in a lot of traffic, and then the word of mouth just started going. And then I got him on Google. He wasn't even Google present. Some of these business owners, don't even know how to claim their business on Google. And Google is the most powerful search engine in the world in today's world. So you really, really need to be on Google as well. I'll talk about that in the next few slides. So it's my second year in college, and then I realized I didn't really know what I wanted to do in life. Like I love business. I was at the University of Michigan. I really loved, studying business. I wanted to take over maybe the store. I didn't know what I wanted to do. So I talked to a counselor. I realized I had a passion for helping businesses grow. I was really always engaged in it. Even like when my friends would talk business, I'd always give them some ideas, to help them grow. And I decided there was a marketing degree. It was a new degree. The counselor was telling me, hey, we got this digital marketing degree. It just came out. And only like 3 universities in the nation at the time offered it. I think it was University of Miami, Harvard, and the University of Michigan. So I was like, hey, you know what? Why not? Sounds pretty cool. I'm interested in marketing. So I took that on. And after that, I graduated during COVID, the worst time to possibly graduate. No ceremony, nothing. And that's how I met Charles, because the only thing that was booming was mortgages at the time. So I worked for the nation's #1 wholesale lender, United Wholesale Mortgage. I'm sure you guys are familiar of it. I met Charles over there, and I realized I was great at this job, don't get me wrong, but I had no passion behind selling mortgages. It wasn't my inspiration. I didn't love it, and I realized I was an account executive, and what we do, our job, me and Charles back in the day, was we'd try to get these loan officers to close the loan with us rather than using Rocket Mortgage or however the case may be. So I realized what I was doing as an account executive. This was part of our job, but maybe I'd say 10% of the job. But I was trying to put these guys on social media, grow their business on Google. It's like, what am I doing? And then they end up closing loans with us because it was very genuine of me. I was selling, but not selling the loan. I was selling, having them grow online. And it worked out. It worked out great. I would end up getting all the loans. And I realized my real passion was selling the marketing aspect of it. So I decided to make a decision right when I started making money there. I wanted to take a big risk and quit. I said I can't do it anymore. I wanted to start my own business, run my own show, and I started my own agency. This is when things started picking up a little bit. Started my own agency. Couple months in, I'm on maybe 9 months in running right now, but a couple months in, I got featured in Yahoo and Business Insider, and they were shouting us out to basically say that we are going to be the most nationally ranked marketing agency, the fastest growing in the nation. You can see it for yourself in the articles if you search up the agency's name. All right, so that's a little bit about myself, but I wanted to talk about one of the most essential digital marketing strategies that helped Designer Student Outlet rank on top, and same for you business owners that are inside this meeting that can help you get on top as well. I want to keep this very brief and short. I know you guys don't really have, none of us have the attention span to be on here for too long, but that is Google My Business. For those of you that don't know, Google My Business is when you're searching for a business on Google, plain simple, just like that. So I'm going to give you the example of the suits in Dearborn. Okay. You guys can analyze this with whatever industry you guys are in, but let's say I'm searching on Google for suits Dearborn. All right. If you notice here, Designer Suit Outlet right here where that arrow is, that was ranking #1 on Google. Okay. And the reason being is because I helped my stepfather and the family business help him rank on top. This is long-term growth. All right. That is what you call organic ranking. Okay. If you look on top though, you have Men's Warehouse and the City Warehouse. These guys aren't doing better than Designer Suit Outlet, but they're paying for ads. Okay. Charles mentioned this earlier about paid advertisements. I'll dive a little bit deeper into it. Paid advertisements with this kind of stuff is you're paying per click on Google. Okay. So let's say Men's Warehouse, I go click on that. Okay. That's probably going to charge them. They're probably going to pay Google maybe $5 per whatever it is. Every industry is different. Like lawyers, insurance, those guys are the most expensive on Google. They pay maybe like $80 to $150 per click. Right. So if you ever search for a lawyer online, don't click on that button if you see an ad, if you're not serious about it, because that really hurt their pockets. All right. But yeah, I help them rank organically. And I'm going to dive into the next slide and show you the benefits of Google. Go ahead, Charles. All right. Benefits of Google. So believe it or not, Google has 8.5 billion searches per day. All right. And then the other benefit is you can rank organically, like I said. So you don't have to pay for people to click on your business. That's why Google is the most powerful search engine in the world, the most trusted, because they truly care about the consumer. Okay, they don't care about ads. You know, they'd rather rank somebody on top instead of besides the ads that people are paying for, because they want what's best for the consumer. All right, and I'll dive in deeper and show you guys how you guys can rank higher. But yeah, it cares about its user. And then also, once you claim your business on Google, you're also visible on maps. So when someone's searching for directions, you know, you can search for directions like food near me. You know, that's also relevant too. It'll pop up like the most popular restaurants in the area. All right. Next slide. So now that you guys know about all this, let's talk about how you can set up your Google My Business. So most of you guys probably might have a Google My Business. If not, you know, this is really brief. You're just going to go on google.com/mybusiness, right? You sign into your Google account, you need a Gmail, and then you're going to click on that Manage Now button, all right, up top. And then it's as easy as that. You're going to go through it step by step. It's pretty simple, all right? Next slide right here. Okay, so this is everything that Google is going to portray about your business. All right, it's going to show all these details. So you get to show who you are. All right, you get attributes like, are you a Black-owned business? Are you woman-led? Are you LGBTQ friendly? Are you led by a veteran? Whatever it is, this stuff makes you stand out. You know, all these organizations and communities like to stick together and like to support one another. All right, so you get to show that. All right, and that also helps you rank better as well once you add every single part of the information that you can. All right. So make sure if you have a Google My Business, you know, some people are just lazy. They probably just add a logo, add a phone number, you know, I'm done. That's it. You need all this stuff to be added in. All right. Because your competition is going to beat you to it. You also can share photos, like I said, your logo, and then you add your essential information like your address, your hours, your
Breaking up, Mo.
Can you hear me?
Good, Mo? I can hear you now.
Yeah, I lost connection. That was bad. All right. Sorry about
No
that.
worries.
All right. So where are we at right now? Next slide, brother. Did you guys get everything on this slide? I hope so. Yeah, yeah, you guys got
I think
everything.
we missed oh yeah, the essential information. You said that first. Okay.
Yep. Perfect. All right. Yep. Next slide. All right. So now that you guys created your account and got all the essential information that you have to plug in, so how do you rank? This is the hardest part. How can you rank higher on Google? All right. Usually it takes about 6 months for you to rank on Google to the top of the list. All right. These are the most essential things that you need to rank on Google. Starting with number one, what Google looks at, they scan your reviews, right? How many 5-star reviews do you have? All right. Are your reviews descriptive? Are you, as a business owner, replying to reviews? They even look at that as well, believe it or not. All right. That's very important. All right. Website. Do you have a website? Google even scans that too. If another competitor has a website and you don't, you know, and you have maybe a 4.3-star rating reviews, they have like a 4.1, they're going to take the guy with the website over you. All right. So that's why websites are important. All right. The speed of your website is crucial. You know, not many marketers know this. So keep that in mind. The SEO. SEO, for those of you that don't know, stands for search engine optimization. That's when you're plugging in keywords within the website, all right, to help you rank higher. So for the suit store, for example, on the website, we'd probably plug in keywords like suits in Dearborn. You know, well, just add like a sentence, you know, slim fit suits in Dearborn, from OG Classics to the slim fit man, whatever it is, you know. So because people are going to be searching for suits in Dearborn, that's going to help them rank. Then backlinks. Backlinks are basically adding your website URL to other articles, like articles on Yahoo, Business Insider could be one, you know, whatever article you want to add it in, as long as you have backlinks, Google will scan that too. Okay. And then getting listed on multiple sites. So you don't want to just claim your business on Google. You want to claim your business on Yelp. You want to claim it on Yellow Pages, on Bing, on all these other platforms. Okay. Because the more the businesses that are claimed, Google is going to look at you as you have, you know, more of an online presence. All right. So that helps you rank. Then you want to fix broken links. This is very important. Your name, your address, and your number should all be very, very consistent on all of these sites. Okay. So let's say your address, an example would be, you know, like Detroit, Dearborn, whatever it is. There's West Dearborn, then there's East Dearborn. I'm sure there's West Detroit, East Detroit. So if you're going to put West Detroit on Google and spell out West, you don't want to put W Detroit on another platform, okay? Because that's going to mess up with your links. You know, that's going to flag Google. It's, you know, not help you rank higher. All right. So that's about it for that. Let's move on to the next slide. Okay, so most of you guys obviously don't have the time to do any of this stuff. You know, it gets a little hectic. So, like I said, I have an agency. My agency is called Mock Digital Marketing. Okay, and one of the services we offer is to help you rank on the top of the page of Google. Okay, and we do so by listing your business on 50 plus sites. Okay, that includes the Yahoo, the Bing, the Yellow Pages. We add SEO descriptions in your business profile. We do keyword research on what's trending in that local area. Okay. Then we build your Google ranking to help you rank on top. And it's monthly reports. Every month you'll get the reports and see what's going on with that. I helped a client actually a couple months ago. He was ranking number 23 on Google, which is terrible, right? He's a dentist, and he is now ranking number 4 on Google. And slowly but surely, I'm trying to get him number 1, but it's only been about like 5 months with him. Okay. So if you guys want to do that, I'm offering a discounted rate just for the MP services, whoever's in this meeting, you know, or if you guys want to refer somebody, you know, you guys can let me know. It's going to be $3.99 per month for that. I'd love to help out if it's relevant to your business, obviously. Okay. That's that. And to top it off, I just want to give out some tips as an entrepreneur. You know, me personally, I claim myself to be an entrepreneur all my life, you know, since the age of 14. You know, I've always been hustling, trying to sell something. Maybe since the age of 8, you know, I sell lemonade across the street, you know, so I've always been, you know, trying to go chase after the dollar. But throughout all these years, I learned a ton, you know, and there's 3 tips that I learned. All right. There's 3 essential tips. I'm going to read this off to you, and then I'll give you some story scenarios within them. There are 3 essential tips that led me to success as an entrepreneur. Tip number 1, the power of persistence is unmatched. It will surpass the most educated and talented man. Tip number 2, never chase the money, let it chase you. Your passion, desire to be a winner will lead you to success. Tip number 3, just jump in the water. You'll eventually learn how to swim. Life is too short to settle for less. Don't think, just jump in. If you follow these 3 tips, you're guaranteed to be successful as an entrepreneur. And to give a little story about each one of these tips and how I figured this stuff out and how I learned, starting with tip number 1, power persistence. You know, I observe a lot. You know, I look at a lot of things. You know, there's a lot of smart people in this world. You know, my dad being one of them. My dad was a very, very, very smart man. You know, he's also very persistent. So that's kind of a bad example. But there's a lot of smart people that don't really have all the money in the world. All right. But the persistent man, you know, he might not be too smart, too book smart, but he's always going to keep going. He's never going to stop. Okay. So this will always surpass the most educated and talented man, no matter what it is. Okay. So be persistent. Number 2, when I was about, I would say 17, that's when I got a little nervous about what am I going to do with life? You know, that's what, you know, my first year in college was coming up. How am I going to make money? You know, and then I realized that I was doing it wrong the whole time. I was just chasing the money, you know, all I wanted was money. I just wanted to be rich, be rich, be rich. And then my stepdad sat me down one time and he told me, listen, buddy, the more you chase the money, the more it'll run from you. And I never understood what he meant. You know, it was just a phrase. I was like, yeah, whatever, man. You know, that's not true. And then a couple years down the line is when I realized that is true because I started observing all these other successful men. None of them really care too much about the money. They just care about winning, you know. And even the CEO of the old company that me and Charles worked for, I noticed he was the type of guy that didn't care about, you know, losing money in the beginning and then gaining money later on. Like he'd probably drop like interest rates a ton, you know, just to compete. And then he'd, you know, lose money in the beginning, then he'll win money later on. But I realized that he just wanted to win, you know, deep down, he just wanted to be a winner, you know, and then I changed my whole mindset to thinking that way. And that's when the money started coming in. So that's a huge tip, you know, just chase success, chase winning. Then tip number 3, this is a funny story. I don't know if I should say this, but whatever. It's a great story, you guys. It's pretty touching. But let me tell you, when I was in California, this was when I was about 9 years old. Uh, my stepdad actually, I went to his house. You know, a really, really, really big mansion over there. Had a pet tiger, parrot. He had a dog. You know, a bunch of animals. Then he had a swimming pool. All right. I was scared of all of them. I was scared of dogs. I was scared of the pool. I didn't like swimming. You know, and what he did was he let the dog loose on purpose, you know, so it can chase me. And I had nowhere to run. Where am I going to go? I was in the backyard, you know. It was like there was a bunch of hills, you know, we were like near Hollywood. There was a bunch of hills to my right. If I jumped there, there's a bunch of coyotes. So all I could do is jump in the water. Jumped in the water, and the dog jumped in with me. So all I could do is just try to swim. And I kid you not, within 5 minutes, my stepdad jumped in the water after, held me, and I learned how to swim just like that. And I also overcame my fear of dogs too. So no matter what you do in life, the whole point of this is just jump in. You know, you'll learn how to swim if you jump in. If you want to quit your job, you want to start being an entrepreneur, you're going to learn as you go, you know, so just take that risk and never settle for less. That's about it from me. Last slide. Do you have any questions for me and Charles?
All right, you guys can unmute if you have a question, or
Mo?
you can put it in the chat.
Too.
Was that Charles or?
Yeah, don't be shy either. We're both an open book, and anything entrepreneurship, anything marketing, pretty much anything. I know like a lot of business owners starting off, they struggle with well, not even struggle. They have a lot of things on their plate, right? But social media is one of those things that it's so small, but it's so big, right? Because if you don't have a social media presence, then who really are you, right? Like you said, Google. Like I've heard from my my mentors in marketing and everything like that. Like if you're not on Google, you're a dinosaur, right? And that's very true in this kind of day and age. You know, everybody's on Google. Everybody needs to be on Google if you're going to be a business owner. So, but anything you guys have, any questions, let us know.
Well, actually, I do. I have a question about the Google My Business. Do you establish, well, I have another business and it's on Google, so it has old information, but I don't know how it was set up. So is it like an account that you establish, and how is it protected? Like, do you set it up with an email account, or does it just pull your information?
So you set it up as an email account. So through your email, okay, but you have to claim your business. Google has to, it's not like anyone can just claim a random business. So Google has to know, and you have to prove to Google that you are the business owner. And how they do it is they'll send you a postcard through the mail. Okay.
Mhm.
And you got to write in the verification code. Like you have to verify the business first. It takes about 5 days. Then you plug in that code, you know, if you're the business owner.
Okay, so it's a verification process, and then when you set it up, I guess it goes through your email, and you can kind of like log into that to make the updates that you were
Correct.
talking about.
Yep, you just log in through your email, and then like in the top portion of your Gmail, if you click on those like 4 little icons, the drop down will
Mhm.
show my business. You can click on that and you access that, where you can add photos, change the hours, change the phone number, whatever the case may be.
Okay, great.
Yep. If you need help with any of
Thank
that,
you.
though, just let me know. I'd love to help too. No worries.
Thanks.
Yep, my pleasure.
We appreciate the discount and the information, so I would like to post your information so that, because a lot of people didn't show up for the workshop today, so I would like to share that to the MP Services group.
Yep.
Mhm.
Anybody else? Any questions?
Got a comment?
Thank you, Angela. Appreciate that. It's been a minute. It's my first webinar in maybe 8 months, so kind of warm again.
Well, I'm not sure if there's no more questions, I'm gonna turn off the recording. And what I was going to say was, I will send out the